You know that voice in your head whispering you should always be doing more? I believed it too. But what if the quiet moments, the ones that feel like nothing, are actually building everything? From Einstein's long walks to your own late night scrolling. In this episode, we'll explore how wasting time could actually be saving you. The wind moves without purpose, without direction. Or maybe it carries whispers of thoughts too quiet for the world to hear. I've always wondered, are we just drifting, searching for meaning in the void, or do we create it ourselves? This is Windy Words of Parsa, a quiet space for those who think too much, feel too deeply, and find beauty in the unanswered. Here, we wander through poetry, philosophy, and fleeting moments, not to find truth, but to embrace the questions themselves. So stay a while, let's lose ourselves, and maybe in the wind, we'll find something worth holding on to. Or maybe we'll just let it go. Have you ever felt time slipping through your fingers and no matter what you do, you cannot save your time and you feel that you are wasting your time and it is not enough for you, like ever. Like no matter what you do, it's the same for me. Even sometimes I feel that I'm losing my whole life because of the time that is passing through my fingers and um, I think that I'm reaching my 30s, 40s, my 50s and I'm just getting old and I feel that it's gonna go so fast that like tomorrow I'm gonna turn 50 and I'm gonna see that I have done nothing good enough for my life. This is something that worries me a lot most of the times and I assume that it's the same for you too. As somebody who hates even losing 1 second in life, and as someone who has always set the expectations so high and who has always set the bar high from myself, I can decide that it is so tough to see that the time is passing and you are doing nothing. The moments of idleness are always some things unbelievably frustrating. However, the more we try to get the track of time and the more we try to not to lose time, we are going to lose it more. And it's just going to get worse. Time's strange. We chase it, we fear losing it, and sometimes without realizing, we let it slip away. As someone who's always set high expectations for myself, I've often struggled with the way of wasted time. The feeling that every lost second is a missed opportunity. But is it really wasted or is there a different way to look at it? It also comes from perfectionism. Perfectionists have always more struggles with this problem. They fear losing time more than any other people, and they seem to be more critical than the other people about how they spend their time. We, as perfectionists, just push ourselves to be more and more productive, and we feel that the time that we are wasting is so bad, and we will get frustrated more than anyone. And this kind of frustration is one of the biggest problems in our lives as perfectionists. But what if wasted time was actually something essential and necessary? Think about the great historical figures. Some of them spent long hours in seemingly unproductive activities Van Gogh, for instance, had moments of stillness, lost in thought before painting. Einstein was known to take long walks, seeming not doing anything and appearing to do nothing. But those moments of idleness were where the ideas took shape and where the creativities happened. I remember as a young person, uh, a few years ago, I was trying so hard to travel and try to get a scholarship because in the country that I'm living, it's very tough to travel abroad in order for studying or for living, even, or for even having fun. Because the country that I'm living in, which I'm not gonna mention which country is, the currency is so awful and the economy, again, is so awful. So we cannot usually travel easy without scholarships or this stuff. So we have to study and be creative, be special in order to get scholarships and in order to see what's on the other side of the world that we live in. So I was trying so hard for getting a scholarship. The idea was just going around my mind, and it was making me crazy. I didn't know what to do. Time's slow, time's fast. It never stops, but it always lasts. It's time for bed, it's time for school. To waste your time is to be a fool. As someone who lives in a country like this, I usually, like every other people in this country, passed my nights thinking and thinking and thinking until the clock um, was making sounds and it was 9 a.m. in the morning. We were sleepless, yes. Insomnia was actually taking us down. In those moments, a lot of the times I was not doing anything, just thinking. Ideas came into my mind. I will do this. This is not working. That is not working. That is not going to work. I don't know what to do about this, about that, and a lot of other things. But during these moments, the ideas came to me. I came up with the idea of a kind of drawing because I study animation in university. I've mentioned it before. I came up with an idea of creating a particular sculpture for a creative creature that I have created. And I drew the skull and I created the skull painting. And that was inspired actually by Lion's skull. And I created it, I worked hard on it at night when I was thinking too much and I didn't know what to do. And then I got a scholarship from the Sheridan College of Canada. But later I again couldn't travel because I didn't have enough money. Uh, huh. but you get the idea. When you are passing the times of idleness, you find ideas. That's where the creativity comes into your life and changes everything, maybe if you use it wisely, if you use your idleness times wisely. Maybe time is not something to use, but something to experience. This is funny because there is a paradox that we, of course, know, and you, of course, know too. Many old people regret that they had lives in which they worked so hard and couldn't make enough money, couldn't make enough time in order to spend with their families or have quality times with the people they loved, or maybe they didn't make enough time to do the things they loved, maybe writing poems in their personal lives, maybe painting, maybe creating art, whatever. And they regret why they missed those opportunities in their free times, and they regret that they didn't make enough free time for themselves because they were so obsessed with what they were doing, and they were trying absolutely hard to get better job positions, earning more money, and this stuff. However, on the other hand, a lot of old people regret why they didn't work enough and why they passed their lives doing nothing, and they think that their life seems nonsense, just goofing around, just losing time and having fun, not useful moments. The key lesson? The key lesson, my friend, maybe is the balance. Maybe we should create a balance between how much we work and how much we try for getting better positions at our jobs, getting more money, and um, improving ourselves, and the time we lose. The so called wasted time is exactly the time that your mind needs in order to bring in creativity for your life. Maybe the problem that you have and cannot make a way out of it will be solved by you thinking in silence, maybe in a taxi that you are taking the ride to your home with. If you were 80 and looked back, what would you regret? Me? I might regret that I didn't spend enough time to party, to enjoy life. I cannot enjoy life right now. I don't know why. My, mental health maybe is not so good, but I know I still will be regretting this in the future. But I'm trying to make some time to spend with my family, because when I'm 80, I don't want to look back and say that why I didn't go on the trip with my family and now they're dead, because that frustration hurts so deep. Of course, at the same time, I am not gonna like it if I look back and see that I did lose my time, and I didn't create enough money for myself, the amount of money that I wanted, and that my life is pathetic and I'm living in a broken house, which is the place of dead souls. But the balance can come in between here and soften the deal for us. A waiter spends hours between tables waiting for orders. A taxi driver has long periods of waiting between passengers. And a student has a lot of time between their classes. These moments might seem wasted, however, they don't have to be. They can be turned into valuable moments of reflection, learning, and experiences, or maybe small joys. A waiter in the restaurant or a cafe can look at people and their behaviors, about their reactions, and learn from them. This learning can help himself or herself in order to grow relationships better, in order to understand people better, and in order to be a better person. Or maybe in future job opportunities, he can use these behaviors and these understandings in order to get better job positions and earn better money, for example, would say. Or a taxi driver can listen to audiobooks while driving instead of just talking with people, thinking that he's going to grow so much with that. He can learn things by listening to audiobooks or maybe my podcast. I don't think they're going to listen from now on, at least. Um, making it can make the dead time a learning opportunity. The student can use the time between their classes as moments to reflect about their future and reflect on their future. Maybe to think what's the better way for him or her. Maybe journaling, creating something creative beside what they're learning. Or maybe they all can simply breathe and make up their mind about things. Maybe they can relax and free their mind in order for new ideas to be able to get in to their minds. Is that so hard? No. But for some of us, it is. This is something that we should try to do more often. I'm not saying we have to spend hours doing nothing or spend days doing nothing. No, just sometimes in between of what we do, maybe we can find 5 minutes of stillness and just free our mind. So, what is a moment in your life that you usually find yourself wasting time in and that you can turn it into something valuable and important and crucial? It's not deliberate, merely common misconception, the way the wheels turn without purpose, without direction, tumbling towards a certain end. Instead of fearing wasted time, maybe we should redefine it. Not every second has to be productive. Not every pause is a failure. The key is to know how we can turn it into something important and useful for our lives. So next time you catch yourself thinking, I just wasted an hour, just ask yourself if you actually wasted your time or did you use it in a different way. Recently, I've just been trying to make time for myself, for doing nothing and for thinking better, thinking more clear and finding ways. So I hope you can be with me on this path and maybe we can change the way we see time together. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Windy Words of Parsa. I hope you had a good time here with me and just please let me know your opinions in the comments. Just tell me what were some moments that you feel were wasted and you feel that you couldn't use it for something good. And maybe let's see if I can reflect on it and give you some advice on it. Of course, I'm nobody important. I know that. I know that this was the Air 1 and Air 2. I'm crazy and I talk to the air sometimes, just like the previous episode. So I was talking to them again. And until the next episode, please just take your time and let it be yours. Goodbye. William Henry Davies says, what is this life if, full of care, we have no time to stand and stare?